God bless each and every one of you for tuning in to today's Open Your Eyes People broadcast. I'm your host, Evangelist, Anita Fuentes. I got a very important headline to bring to you on today's broadcast. Is Donald Trump possibly getting set up for an assassination? This latest report comes on the heels of so much threats that are headed towards the president's way. Check this out. Renowned pastor says senior Republican told me of plan to take out Trump. An evangelical pastor claims he met with a senior Republican congressman who told him of a plot to remove Trump suddenly from office. Now, before we go any further, I want to share with you an actual soundbite, a video clip where this world-renowned evangelical pastor shares this among his congregants just a few days ago.
Tuesday was a low because I got to go into the Congress and spend 3 hours from 9:30 in the evening to 12:30 a.m. with one of the senior ranking members of Congress. And he told me, and of course this is what I said on CBN, but they cut it out, but I'm going to go public with this because we have to. He said there is a plot on Capitol Hill to take the president out. I said, you mean by impeachment or by indictment? He said, no, to take him out. He will be removed suddenly from office. Well, you can read between the lines. I said, look, that's not going to happen. He said, well, really, there's nothing we can do to stop it. I said, we are going to stop it because we're going to mobilize the body of Christ to pray. So listen, they started a war. You know, they are so upset about what's happening because since when last has the body of Christ had access into the White House? It wasn't that way under Reagan. They might come and go a little bit. It wasn't that way under Clinton. It wasn't that way under both Bushes. And it definitely wasn't that way under Obama. But we have a president that's opened the door for the body of Christ. And that is huge, whichever way you want to look at it. And let me tell you, everybody's moaning Republican, Democrat. He actually is neither. He's basically a populist that the American people voted for. They put a businessman in the White House because things are so fouled up. Well, if you want to really see fouled up, go to Congress and go sit and talk to he's been there since '96. So he knows everything about what's going on. And I can tell you the games that are being played, how they're actually trying to set the president up in every way. So, but when he told me what he said, that they are planning, the talk on the Hill is the plan that suddenly he'll be removed. So what we're going to do, we're going to launch it today as a 24-hour prayer initiative to pray around the clock, and we do it across the nation, around the world, for the protection of the president.
Further reports include the following. During an appearance on Revival Ministries International, Rodney Howard-Browne said he spent 3 full hours from 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. in the evening with one of the senior ranking members of Congress. The pastor said he related the same story on the CBN network, which is a Christian network ran by Pat Robertson. But according to Rodney, he said that they cut the portion out, that particular portion stating the information that we're relaying to you in this broadcast, and that he had decided to go public with this because he had to do it. He didn't want it to be covered. He found it so important, detrimental to the safety of the President of the United States of America. He said that there is a plot on Capitol Hill to take the president out. So Rodney said, you mean by impeachment or by indictment? The congressman said no, to take him out. He will be removed suddenly from office. And then the congressman told Rodney, you can read between the lines. The congressman, who the pastor revealed had been in office since 1996, went on to tell Howard-Browne there's nothing we can do to stop it. Now, Pastor Howard-Browne said that the deep state has started a war against Donald Trump and that he has been more amenable towards the evangelical community than any previous president otherwise. And that could be the main reason why they're looking to do something drastic and sudden. Now, there are 2 congressmen that come to mind that have been serving since 1996. The first one, Ranking Member Elijah E. Cummings. Elijah E. Cummings has proudly represented Maryland's 7th District since 1996. Could he be the one who spoke with Ronald? The second congressman that comes to mind is Pete Sessions. The people of Dallas and the 5th Congressional District sent Congressman Sessions to Washington, D.C. back in 1996. Now, Congressman Sessions has been a stalwart defender of U.S. homeland and national security interest, as well as the men and women who defend them. He successfully represents the 32nd Congressional District of Texas. The real question is this: was a lawmaker hinting at a real-life possible planned scenario to assassinate Donald J. Trump, and very soon? I mean, just look at the liberal news media in Hollywood. They virtually signaled the assassination of President Donald Trump from the moment he took office. Here you have Kathy Griffin beheads Donald Trump in a very graphic photo. Madonna was another one. She said, "I've thought a lot about blowing up the White House since Trump has been in it." Snoop Doggy Dogg even decided to chime in by shooting Donald Trump in the head in one of his latest music videos. Then you have Robert De Niro. He says, "I'd like to punch Donald Trump in the face." Rapper YG threatens Trump with F Donald Trump song. And Marilyn Manson kills Donald Trump in his latest music video. Last but certainly not least is the so-called Shakespeare in the Park in New York. The New York City production of Julius Caesar, also known as the Trump assassination play, well, who could forget CNN's own Fareed Zakaria praising it? So many are obsessed with the idea of President Donald J. Trump being assassinated.
It's an actor dressed to look just like President Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage. Look as his character is stabbed to death. And there's no mistaking the Trump connection. Check out the unbuttoned overcoat and red tie that hangs over his waist. It's a staging of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar that is outraging many. The controversial production is taking place here in New York City's Central Park. The staging is being seen as a direct jab at Trump and the controversial political climate in this country. There are other similarities to Trump. Caesar's wife, Calpurnia, bears a resemblance to First Lady Melania.
Make hands for me!
This is how the assassination scene has usually been done. Julius Caesar repeatedly stabbed by the members of the Roman Senate. In the new version, you see a bloodied Caesar, his white dress shirt soaked in blood. There was mixed reaction about this new twist.
I didn't like that they made this person who looks like Trump get assassinated. It's not a good message.
I don't think it's disrespectful for the president to be murdered on stage. It's not really the president's theater. Everybody knows it's theater.
This all comes on the heels of that outrageous image of Kathy Griffin holding the severed head made to look like Trump. She cried during a news conference where she was both defiant and apologetic.
That apology absolutely stands. I feel horrible.
As the cast took its bow, the audience applauded with a standing ovation. No word from the White House on the controversial production.
Did Ronald Howard-Browne just let the cat out the bag in hopes of stopping this assassination attempt? You know, we reported a few weeks ago where there was a prophecy by Prophet Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj that stated that witches, actual covens, are cursing Donald Trump in hopes of his removal from office. Many believe that Donald Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again," has really got him in some hot water. And that's the reason why many leftist liberal pundits wants to see him out of office. I believe it's something more sinister, however. We are living in the last days, and we know that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. And the enemy knows something about the hour in which we're living in, this very last moment while Trump is in his office, possibly for the greatest revival that's about to break forth before the greatest time of judgment will hit the world. Get saved, folks. The day of the Lord is at hand. This is Evangelist Anita Fuentes signing out. Until the next time, be sure to pray, surrender your entire life to Jesus Christ. Again, I say the day of the Lord is at hand. Pray for the President of the United States of America and the government of the U.S. We need your prayers for this nation. And pray that your house be in order. I'm telling you, folks, we're living in the last days. I can't press it enough. Get more information on our website, www.openyoureyespeople.com. And while you're there, help support the work of the End Time Ministry. God richly bless you. Bye-bye.